Alright guys, so the fourth and final bypass we're going to be looking at is another... Yo, what is up YouTube? Today we are back again, and as you can see by the title, today I've got the top 5 best bypass methods I have seen and how to detect them. So I'm going to be leaking some crazy shit today, and I'm going to be showing you some really cool methods on how you can find them. But I'm going to stop yapping. Get the best PC cheat scanner, anti-cheat scanner in the description, Detect.ac, the first link. And guys, let's get into the fucking video. Okay, so here we are on my desktop, and the first bypass I'm going to be showing you is a fully fileless bypass, which involves using the actual shell code of a executable file. Oh, scary! Putting it into base64 encoded strings and then executing it using Windows PowerShell. So if I go ahead and open up PowerShell ISC right here, so this is the best way you can launch it because I'm about to show you in a second. So use PowerShell ISC, we make sure it's launched as admin. You do need to make sure your Defender is off as well. Otherwise, Windows Defender will block this. So just go manage settings. These two need to be off, and all the other ones doesn't matter. Then you want to go to the bottom box down here, because this is like an environment, like a IED, where you can go ahead and just make some code. Here is like a live PowerShell environment. So you're going to paste in the code. I'm not trying to leak a bypass, so I'm not going to show you. But basically, here is the code right here. Then if I go ahead and just click enter, then it will go ahead and launch up this cheat right here. Let me put it on the right hand side. So Ben, blur the command. Don't blur this. You guys can see that it has actually launched the cheat here. And this cheat is not written to disk at all. It is all inside the PowerShell command. So the executable is actually inside the command, which is crazy. So as you guys can tell, this bypass is something that's absolutely mental, and it would bypass usually every single scanner, absolutely everybody. But I'm about to show you some detections for it today. And this is actually one from a previous video. This is a bypass that I made with ChatGPT. So AI made this bypass too. So, I mean, AI is getting pretty crazy, but now I'm gonna show you the detections, and I'm gonna show you why we use PowerShell ISC. First things first, we're going to go over to everything. We're just going to go to console host history.exe.txt. Here we're going to go ahead, we're going to open the path, okay? And as you guys can see here, so everybody knows Windows PowerShell has its own history. So everything logs in here. So as soon as I try and run a command, if I go PowerShell right here, I don't know, let's just go test cards, go ahead, enter that. That's now going to flag, and it's going to pop up inside this history file. And then if you try and delete it and then try and like save over it and clear it, then we can just go over to journal trace. We can just go ahead and grab the name of the file, and then we can check modifications that have been made to the file. So we go ahead and scan it right here, and we're going to go to layout. We're going to go to direct data grid, paste in the name, make sure it's a name here, click search. Then we can see here a data truncation has occurred on the file at 403 and at 407. 407 is the one we're concerned about. This is when I was just doing some testing earlier. But yeah, as you guys can see, a data truncation has occurred. When the reason is data truncation, that means that the data inside of the file has been changed. Just as simple as that. So that is how we're going to go ahead and detect that if we were going to use normal PowerShell. But instead, we use PowerShell ISC. And as you can see here, there is a PowerShell ISC host history. But when you run PowerShell ISC, for some reason, as administrator, it just does not log the command. Oh, shit. So here, no command was logged at all. So that is why we use PowerShell ISC as admin. I believe it's as admin. And that is the best way to execute it, so we don't have to worry about these files at all. Next thing we're going to be looking at though is the detection for this. So obviously everything can be detected and everything can be bypassed. So we're just going to head and close out of this one. So this one is now completely gone off the computer, and we can literally just CLS and clear this, and now that's the bypass. We have just cheated, we've cleaned our PC, and it's gone. And this is how we're going to go ahead and find it. So first things first, we're going to go to event log or event viewer, and I know you guys are familiar with this. Whoa, I could not type today. What is going on? Some of you know about this log. So we go to application and service logs, and then if we go ahead and go down to Microsoft and Windows, okay, it's just in Windows PowerShell. And then once we're inside the event log, when we go back through the logs, we should be able to see under event ID 600 and 400 that we have here environment has been started. That's fine, but the main ones, when we see function has been started, and then there's another one, file system and variable, then we're going to be like, hey, look, something malicious has been ran through PowerShell. Those providers should not be launched through any normal PowerShell environment. So if you're seeing those variables and those providers, sorry, that is a big telltale that they have been cheating. And lastly, you can detect this through Hey Abuser, which is a event log parser. So if I go ahead and go over to my private guide, I don't care, the link's there if you guys want to type it all out. I'm not going to paste it anywhere, but we go to Hey Abuser, and then if we go ahead and install it right here, I've actually forgot which one I installed. It's been a while since I've used this. Windows 64, that's the one. We go ahead and install this one. Then once it's installed, go ahead and extract this. Then once it's done, we're going to go ahead and take it, and then we're going to go to CMD. I'm going to CD into the folder, clear the screen, and just follow my link. So we're going to go Hey Abuser, and then all that shit. That's fine. So we're going to go Hey Abuser, Bumbleclaw, and then we're going to go. Pretty sure it's just that. There we go. Don't know why I put that at the end. That is really misleading. So yes to all the options, following until passes out. This is great why I've got this, because I would not remember any of these. Loading section rules, please. Here we go. It's been a while since I've used Hey Abuser. Okay, that's finished now, right? Okay, nice. Filter and vote reflection assembly. Okay. Now we go back here. We got HTML output. So this is actually pretty cool. You can go to HTML output and it will give you like all the stuff that it found, which is pretty sick. We're just going to use Timeline Explorer right here. We go ahead and drag and drop the CSV file into here. Then once you've drag and dropped it into the Timeline Explorer, which can be found on Eric Zimmerman's GitHub, which I'll just show you quickly. So Eric Zimmerman tools right here, and then it's Timeline Explorer. Just this one right here. Doesn't matter which one you install, it just matters because then you have to download the relevant .NET runtimes. But yeah, and then you can filter in the timestamp and the PowerShell command, and then it will show it. I'm not showing you on it right here because it hasn't passed and gotten up to date yet. So I have to wait another like 30 minutes for it to date. So then Hey Abuser can then go ahead and find it because it doesn't do it immediately. That's the only reason why I'm not showing it. And I just want to get to the next method because the next method is really cool. But yeah, that's the first one. PowerShell fileless bypass methods. It's crazy. It's insane. You guys got to learn how to detect it, and these are the detections. If you guys have any other detections, any other ways you can find it, pop me a message on Discord, cards.dll. Ben, if you can put that on screen right there, that would be brilliant. Thanks, Ben. Big up Ben, the editor. Okay, all right, now let's go on to the next method. So the next method is going to be using Task Scheduler. Now, Task Scheduler is brilliant because it allows you to run files through an admin command prompt window that logs in very, very few places. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and go over to Task Scheduler. Then go in the top right and click Create Basic Task, and then we're just going to name it System, Start, something like that. Anything you want. Next, trigger, we're going to do it when you log on. It's very specific. When computer start doesn't work. It has to be when I log on. Then you got to start a program. So what we're going to do is in the program / script, we're going to go C:// Windows. Whoa, I cannot type. Windows / system 32 cmd.exe. I'm almost certain that's cmds. Yeah, Windows system 32 cmd.exe. Okay, next, boom, open the properties dialog, finish. We want to run my high privileges. Doesn't really matter what you put this out, I'll just put it as Windows 10 because it looks nicer. Then go ahead and click OK. Now, when you run your PC at logon, it's going to run cmd. So if I run it right now, it's going to run cmd as admin. Okay, then once you have the command prompt window open, you can then actually launch a file from here, run as admin, and it barely logs anywhere at all. So we're going to go ahead and quickly download a cheat. If I quickly go and grab one, and we're just going to go ahead and grab this cheat. It's going to go ahead and install. We're going to call it let's call it svchost.exe. We're going to put it in downloads. Once it's in downloads, we're then just going to control exit, and we're going to put it in system 32, and then in this folder, continue, and then just pop it in here, save this directory, and then what we can do is we can then cd into it and then run it. And once it's ran, closed it, guys, this logs like nowhere. It literally logs nowhere. So the cmd runs at logon, and then you barely ever find it anywhere. But something you do have to keep in mind is it does log in BAM. So if you go to Detect.ac /tools, then you can go ahead and download our very own BAM parser, which does it all for you. Go ahead and run this one. Then we're going to go ahead and actually see it right at the top. Then we're going to be able to see it right here, system32 0409 conhost.exe. So what a lot of people do is they go to the BAM key inside of registry and then actually delete it. But then you guys can still end up detecting it using a paths parser, using CSRSS inside of System Informer, or by just using general YARA rules across the whole disk. Some free tools do actually still find this. But guys, this is a crazy bypass method I have seen, and it is still detected though by Detect.ac, the best anti-cheat PC scanner in the description. Now that's 2 we've done. I'm going to try and get on a bit quicker to number 3 now, I think, right? Yeah, number 3. Okay, number 3, we're going to be using secure delete. So basically, some cheats they download a file, they chuck it in the temp directory, so %temp%, and here it is really hard for you to recover files or even tell that files been launched from here. So what people sometimes do is they download a cheat, they rename it to a .tmp, they then launch it through command prompt like the last bypass that I just showed you, then they use secure delete to delete it, and basically what that does is that overwrites over the file multiple times and then actually deletes it. So we're just going to go ahead and do that for you. So we go ahead and download secure delete and install it. That's perfect. Then we're going to go ahead, click OK, extract files, OK. Then we're going to go ahead and just go to history and then we're going to go ahead and download the cheat. We're going to name it like edge_8dd3.tmp. Make sure this is set to all files. Then we're going to go to the temp directory if it's going to let us there. If it's not, we're just going to chuck it in downloads. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Install that one. And now that's a .tmp file. Oh, it's not a .anything file. Okay, .tmp. Lovely. Take that %10%. Lovely. Let's paste that in there. Then we're just going to make sure we log in a notepad, the name of it and the path. Then we can launch it. So now we have the executable path here as well. Then all we're going to do is we're going to go to sdelete. Okay, that's already extracted. That's fine. sdelete.exe is all we need. Perfect. We got the sdelete right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and launch our cheat. So if I get up the directory right here, we can just pop it in. Oops. I'm actually so dumb. I'm actually so dumb. Boys, I promise you, I'm just having a brain moment today. Oh my God. Guys, okay. All right, I'm just trying to go too quick here. Okay, now that's going to go ahead and launch our cheat. And then what we can go ahead and do is grab this here, and then we can go ahead and pop that in here. Get sdelete up. If we cd into that folder, and then we're going to overwrite it 3 times, and then copy over our cheat, bang. Then it's going to go ahead and delete it. So it overwrit it 3 times and then deleted it. Then what you guys can go ahead and do is if we get the temp directory, and then we go into journal trace right now. Obviously in the temp directory, a lot of stuff happens. So a lot of things happen in the temp directory, like loads of file deletes, loads of file creates. If you go to directory grid, then go to directory, and then if we go to name edge, then yeah, we're gonna go ahead and have here a bunch of data overwrites, data extensions, and then it being deleted. We don't worry about the prefetch files, that doesn't matter. Prefetch, in my opinion, is absolute ass. But yeah, then we can see it's done right before the check. A bunch of data overwrites, data extensions, rename, new name, old name, whatever, and then it's deleted. So yeah, and it doesn't even have a deletion log. It just has data overwrites. So yeah, it's pretty good, but you want to be familiar with the patterns that it comes up with. So if you see something like this, you won't be able to recover it. The only way you can really prove it is through journal, but then this is still argumentatively not a detection. So this type of bypass is still on the edge, but then if you guys even see secure delete on their system, then you can be like, okay, like, let's be real here. What's going on? And I probably, if you probably go to win prefetch view actually, and then if you go to last runtime secure delete, I'm sure you'll be able to find, let me see if you can. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to find the actual file that was deleted inside the affiliated folders. So you can also, sorry, prefetch isn't completely ass. You can also check through here, see the affiliated folder right here. And then if you have a bunch of changes to that as well, so you can see secure delete accesses this file, then in journal you see that has data truncations and it's no longer on the disk, it's going to be secure delete, guys. So that is how you find the secure delete bypass. Alright guys, so the fourth and final bypass we're going to be looking at is another PowerShell method, but it's going to be using invoke web request to download the file directly into PowerShell's memory and then execute it. Only works with a handful of executables, and I believe it's only .NET executables, so C# executables. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to use PowerShell ISE because it's better. Run it as admin so it doesn't log in the folder. Am I being dumb? PowerShell ISE, run as admin. There we go. We're going to go to the environment, paste in the command right here. Please don't leak it, Ben. We're going to have to blur it all. But yeah, you enter it in, it then loads up the direct bytes, and then it will go ahead and launch it attached with PowerShell right here. If you close PowerShell, it will close the whole thing. That is how you destruct. How you're going to find it, it's going to be another event log, and it's going to be another hey abuser. I don't know why event log doesn't come up when I click it. Yeah, something you want to look for actually, which you wouldn't have found in the first one because the command is actually too long, is if we go to application service of Windows PowerShell, make sure date and time is the most recent. We'll actually be able to see the command itself, which is proper super cool. So if we go down through, we should be able to find it. Yeah, so here we have it again. Environment started, file system started, function started again. So that is also going to give us an indication that malicious PowerShell command has been ran. We're going to take a look in Hey Abuser as well. And yeah, guys, that's the main ways we're going to be detecting PowerShell bypasses. They are by far the best methods. And they're the hardest to find as well, because people can do a lot of tampering, they can do a lot of flooding, you know, you can change the actual large size of the event logs and stuff like that. You can modify EVTX files. It is very, very difficult to find, but they were just some of the detections for my top 5 best bypass methods and detections for them. Obviously, there's loads out there. Obviously, I know you guys are going to come in the comments telling me that I'm a dumbass and there's a couple of detections that I missed. Please, please, please drop them in my Discord channel. It'll help me improve Detect.ac, in my opinion, the best anti-cheat scanner, and it will also help me learn as well. But guys, thank you so much for coming down. I really appreciate you coming through and watching all the way to the end. Get Detect.ac in the description. And boys, have a great rest of your day in a bit.